What's up, guys? Back in today with more There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover, unless this time with episode 11, I believe. Good episode last week. Pretty awkward ending to the episode with Mai coming in. I'm getting the names down a little bit now. With Mai coming in, with Ajisai kind of doing the weird little sister, which I thought was quite strange, the little sister kind of stuff, asking for a hug. But yeah, Renako caught in a bit of an awkward situation yet again. Not quite sure how I might track them down, but she's got her ways about her. They're very rich girls, so yeah, looking forward to seeing what we got today. It was a really cute episode last week. Like I said, there was a few weird moments with the whole sister stuff. I'm not too kind of a big fan of that, but I don't hate it either. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how we do address this whole situation today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. I think we've got a couple episodes left, which is good. Wait, is this episode 11? I think it's actually 12 episodes then in that case, right? I mean, again, judging from the YouTube views, it's been very popular, so I'm hoping we get a season 2 of this, because I've really enjoyed it. Certainly, probably the most underrated anime this season, because I don't hear anyone ever talk about it unless I go to the specific websites and places for it. I'm never just out in the wild seeing any kind of praise or anything for it, which is a shame. So yeah, I'd say probably the most underrated anime this season. And ironically, one of the other romance anime this season, being A Fragrant Flower, is probably the most overrated anime this season. Although it's still good. I still like it, but it certainly is overrated. I think this show has achieved so much more in the same span of time, comparatively. Not that that's how you should judge every show about how much is achieved, but yeah. We're in the college, huh? I mean, understandable, but I don't know if it's even weirder coming from you. I think it's actually less weird that she's kind of joking with it when I was so serious. We're on a first name basis. I mean, they're all friends, right? Shouldn't they all be on a first name basis? Why was she doing the Spock right there? I can't really even do it properly. I know those are erosion kind of barriers, but they remind me of those pits. I've never been to one, and I never will go in one. Of those pits that have soft cushiony things that you dive into. This sounds so stupid, but I've always been quite afraid of. Just want to pause for a sec so I don't miss anything. It's not really much of a point here, but I'll never go to one because I've always been quite afraid of drowning in them. See those almost like those ball pits you've been in as a kid, which I've done alright with because they weren't that deep. But if I ever went into a deep kind of ball pit, or again I think they have these trampoline parks and stuff where you dive it, you jump into them and they break your fall. I'd be, again, it sounds stupid, but I think I'd genuinely maybe have a panic attack diving in these, and I don't know why. I don't know. I think it goes back to a memory of when I was a couple of times as a kid. People had quite different, but people had these mats that you'd do stuff on, and you'd pile up on people. And I was at near the bottom one time, one of those, and I panicked so bad because you had 6-7 kids on top of you, can't breathe, can't move, and I just do really bad at that kind of stuff. To be honest with you, having no control, especially over my movements. So yeah, again, not really much of a point here on the show, but I'm just looking at those almost triggers something that makes me panic inside. To be honest with you, even though they're erosion barriers, they look like those kind of pits of like sponge things. Pretty cool erosion barriers are that, by the way. I remember learning about those in primary school. It was quite interesting. You weren't invited though. Just gonna butt in. Also, she's one of those girls that protects her whiteness. Is she? I think that's quite. That used to be especially a thing in Japan, didn't it? Of being as white as possible was as desirable as possible. So yeah, it looks like she values her whiteness. Doesn't want to get any tan. Look at mischievous. That's the most competitive we've seen, Ajisai. Good to see. Good question. A bit of a friendly rivalry, maybe. Friendly rivals. I don't know. I'd like to explore that as well. And she seemed to look a little bit competitive, as you saw a minute ago, which is, I wouldn't say unlike her, but a different side that we haven't seen much of at all. Seems that way. We all know what she's gonna say there, don't we? Five there? It looks almost the same. Five? Bloody hell. I'm not very good with stuff like this. Never been good at like photos or yeah. Just really awkward. Which is ironic considering I video myself so much. The thing is with this though, I never actually like look at. I don't really watch my videos back, and I never like look at myself when I make them. She's five then. Looks exactly the same. And that's the photo. That was cute, wasn't it? Cute little facial expression. I love the little details like that. It's like adds so much personality and just like what could just be a throwaway shot. Persona. Oh, what does that sound? Oh wow! Just so happens there's a festival. That was incredibly lucky, isn't it? Jesus. Jesus. Yeah. It's incredible, isn't it? The richest people get most free stuff. It's always the way it's been. It's a fucking joke, really. Oh, thanks. Dogu Mushi. Oh, thanks. Why does that look an awful lot like Satsuki? So she's yeah, she's a Satsuki and Mai ship pair. Okay. A lovely maid. T-posing. Honestly, that's how I think I'd look for one of these. Just go around walking T-posing. I don't think I'd. I think I'd look very creepy in one of these. Honestly, I don't do very well with color and very stand out things. To be honest with you, I always feel I just look stupid. I do very much keep it quite minimal, just like black and white. Usually, if I do have a bit of color, it's usually something quite relaxed and nothing crazy. I'm not one of those guys that goes out there looking like avant-garde, sharp kind of stuff. Like I said, keep it as minimal as possible for me. Especially a Yukara, I think I'd look stupid as fuck. Maybe in like a black and white one or something. But even then, like something that kind of out there, I think would just look strange on me. Never know until you try, though, I guess. Cotton candy. Always used to get a bit of cotton candy at the fairs and such. Always much better than those fucking apples, to be honest with you. Again, I always say it, those apples are a scam. It's just an apple. At the end of the day, it's just like a little bit of like caramel stuff and then just an apple. Feels like you get scammed. You kind of buy it thinking the whole thing's gonna taste like the outside looks like, but then you get to the middle and you're like, oh, it's just an apple. It is a shame they couldn't be here this time. You can eat any of that? I mean, I don't want to generalize this or anything, but I do feel like with extroverts, that there's probably the reason they're so shocked here is because with extroverts, it is like I think there's a certain thing an introvert would be like with Renako as we see. She's a bit like again, I don't want to generalize like this, and it's probably not exactly the case, but you would expect like an introvert, from my experience, from talking from my perspective, seem to like seem to have always like listened a bit more than any of my friends or anything. Or if I come I really like extrovert people, but they just seem to care a little bit more about themselves, whereas introverts seem to care a bit more about other people, maybe pleasing other people and such. So I think it makes sense why they're so shocked when they've probably been friends with lots of extroverts their whole lives, to actually have like an introvert pretending to be an extrovert that actually cares, but they only got to kind of interact with her because she's pretending to be an extrovert. I know that got slightly confusing, but I hope that made sense. Um, and yeah, she brings something different to the table from what you'd expect, because she is kind of playing this role, Renako, isn't she? Yet her kind of true self is always shining through and always kind of doing stuff for them and helping them out. I think that's like her true nature kind of coming through. And of course, as I said, that's not the case for everyone. That's not the case for every extrovert and so on. I think when I've done like my personality tests and stuff, I'm the most extroverted type of introvert. So I think I've got a pretty unique stance on that kind of stuff. So I hope she admits that she does as well. Show that bit of fight that we saw from her earlier on, maybe. Maybe you fall in love with her too. Absolutely. See, just be a bit selfish. Like, I totally get that, but it can be a bit selfish and say, come on, as you say. That's not the answer I wanted to hear. That's the answer I expected to hear. It's not the answer I wanted to hear. I get that. I get that. Don't want to make anything too complicated. Don't want to mess anything up. You don't want to ruin anything. And you know what? I think Mai already knows that she does as well, even though she didn't say that she did. I feel like that look on Mai's face there was like, yeah, I know your true answer. Yes, that is what we're doing. Back to the baths, this time with Mai, so God, who knows what's going to be coming this time. But that was a really lovely scene, that wasn't it? I like that scene a lot. Even though again it wasn't my perfect kind of outcome, it was the realistic one, and it's still lovely. Ponder. Honestly, I've kind of forgotten about that whole thing about the hair up and stuff. I thought that was just something that we initially kind of set up in the first episodes, and then just kind of forgot about. But I guess we're still doing that. With all your resources. She's almost like the Batman of lesbian dating, isn't she? Yeah, Josiah, you've been awfully bloody quiet since then, haven't you? That was a really fun trip, wasn't it? That look was a bit interesting. A bit disappointed. That's probably why. Well, thanks for intruding. Thanks for barging in. Thanks for fucking. I reckon Ajisai saw that. Oh, the maid did. She's sleeping like that? Well, not important, I guess. What about you guys? They're so. I always find these like shots so charming. It might just be me, but I love this kind of stuff of just like these. Not even low quality. This especially like even the low quality stuff that would usually be low quality is still like done really well here. But there's just something so charming about this. I don't know about you guys. Like the slightly less detailed versions of them sitting there like that. Maybe that's weird of me though. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think Ajisai has come to understand a bit more about herself, hasn't she? It's almost like a bit of a self-discovery journey. This a little bit. I'm still doing these crappy topics. Tell her what you're thankful for. Ah, and this is where we see that scene. Okay. That we started this arc. But leaning on her shoulder. I think I saw the words Hi Steilu. Of course the fucking train fucking blocks it off though. I think I understood what she mouthed there though. I think she said she loves her. That's just from my poor understanding of Japanese lip reading, but it's almost cheating. It's almost cheating, as you say. It's almost cheating. You tell her and she couldn't hear. Fair enough for her though. She got it out. Still feel like she cheated a little bit. Wings of an angel. She shared her wings with you. Wait, that day. So yeah, that I think confirms that was her. Admitting that she loved her when the train went by. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. A really good episode again today. I said how underrated this show is. This it just keeps getting better as well. The more details and the more characteristics and more time they spend together, the better it gets. Like, yeah, again, definitely one of the most underrated anime. Maybe not just this season, but probably this year. In all honesty, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah. Really good episode. Some lovely times there. I do think the standouts were especially the festival here with the fireworks going off. I think it was really lovely. It was really interesting to hear Mai and Ajisai kind of chat about that. And it was totally how you'd expect it to go down, that interaction. Mai being very upfront and I wouldn't say forceful, but like very upfront, very like powerful statements and what she wants and what she likes and so on. Whereas Ajisai was a bit like, I don't really want to mess anything up, don't really want to fuck things up, don't want to test the waters too much. But I'm really glad by the end of the episode she was very honest with herself, and I think it was not just like being honest with herself, but she came to understand herself a little bit more during this whole trip as well. It's funny, I literally just watched Stand By Me last night, and that was almost quite similar in terms of like a journey of kind of coming of age and growing up and understanding yourself a bit better and such. Really good movie that was. And this was almost a little bit similar in kind of like the terms of the trip, going away, kind of bit of self-discovery and so on, changing a little bit perhaps for Ajisai. We even saw again a little bit of a competitive side of her, which I hope to see even more of in terms of the relationship going forward. But yeah, lovely way to end off. Great episode, probably one of my favourites so far, so I'm very excited to see how we do finish off this season next week, and hopefully we get a season 2 confirmation as well. Let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date, and I'll see you then with episode 12.